Froggy the Gator, Wormbird, Tomato Hedgehog, and Mr. Hummus were all playing around in Froggy the Gator's basement. And Froggy the Gator had a really cool basement, and I don't know if we've actually talked about it that much, but we're going to talk about it now, so here we go. Froggy's basement was, like most basements, under the main level of his house. And it was what we call a finished basement, which means basically it had all of the stuff that normal rooms have, like a ceiling and walls and a big carpet running from end to end. And there was also, strangely enough, a fireplace in the basement, which led all the way up through the rest of the house out the chimney on Froggy the Gator's roof. And the basement also had the washer and dryer where Froggy's parents did their laundry, and it had a space for Daddy the Gator to work, like an office, basically. But the coolest thing about Froggy the Gator's basement, and the reason why he and his friends were all down playing in the basement in the first place, was that it had a big, huge, wraparound couch right in front of the fireplace. The couch was, like I said, huge, and it wrapped from one side of the room to the other. And the reason the guys liked playing on it so much was because they could jump from the fireplace hearth all the way to the couch, and they could do really cool stunts and tricks while they were flying through the air. This particular day, they were pretending to be monster trucks doing tricks, and Froggy was being the Brave Digger, and Mr. Hummus was being the Blue Beast, and you already know about those two monster trucks if you listen to the show, but if you don't know about them, you can go listen to any of our other monster truck episodes. And Wormbird's monster truck today, which was yellow, was a monster truck called Sharky, and it had a really cool shark mouth painted on the front. And Tomato Hedgehog's monster truck was a truck that they all called the Tomato Wagon, which had a huge big cannon on the top of it that they imagined, of course, shot out tomatoes everywhere that it went. So the guys were all being monster trucks and doing really cool jumps onto the big wraparound couch in Froggy's basement, and everything was going great until they heard something strange. At first, they didn't even notice it. It barely registered to their eardrums, but then the noise got a little bit louder. Froggy heard it first, and he stopped right before he was about to do a monster truck jump onto the couch. "Hey guys," Froggy said, "did you hear that?" And then he heard it again. It was kind of like a rumbling sound, like, well, a monster truck engine, but it was coming from the other side of the basement, where the washer and dryer were located. "Oh yeah," said Mr. Hummus, "I did hear it that time." And the rumbling sound then started getting louder and louder. "What do you think that is?" Wormbird said. "I don't know why there'd be a monster truck all the way over there, or the monster trucks are all right here, with us." So the guys, of course, decided that they needed to investigate what this strange rumbling sound was. And they all drove their pretend monster trucks, the Blue Beast, the Brave Digger, Sharky, and the Tomato Wagon, toward the washer-dryer combo to investigate. It was lucky for them that they'd had these monster trucks, as it made them feel very confident in themselves as they explored the unknown source of the strange noise. As they turned their monster trucks around the corner, they approached the washer-dryer. "Interesting," said Froggy the Gator as he pressed his ear to the dryer. "It doesn't appear as if either of these appliances are making any noise." And as he said that, they heard the rumbling again. But this time, it was closer, because, well, they were closer to it. "Oh boy," said Mr. Hummus, "I think I hear where it's coming from." And Mr. Hummus cautiously pointed toward a part of the basement that Froggy didn't really like to go. You see, if you know anything about basements, even finished basements, it's that usually there are some parts of them that are unfinished. And that's where Mr. Hummus was pointing, toward an unfinished part of Froggy the Gator's basement that his dad always referred to as the crawl space. "Oh man," said Froggy, "that's right, Mr. Hummus. The noise is coming from in there. It's coming from the crawl space." "Well, we gotta figure out what it is," Froggy, Wormbird said. "Have you ever gone into the crawl space before? It looks kinda like, almost like a big cave." "That's right, Wormbird," Froggy said. "The crawl space is indeed like a cave, and I have explored this territory before, although it was many years ago, when I was more like a toddler." So the guys bravely revved their monster truck engines and they started toward the mysterious source of the noise. They steered into the crawl space and they steered into the cave. Almost immediately they imagined themselves transported to a real actual cave with stalactites and stalagmites everywhere. And in case you didn't know, a stalactite is a rock formation that's like a cone or a spike hanging down from the top of a cave, and a stalagmite is like the same thing, except it's rising up from the floor. A stalactite hangs tight to the ceiling, and a stalagmite might get up there someday, Froggy said, reciting a line that his dad taught him to help him tell the difference between stalactites and stalagmites, but that's neither here nor there. What's really important is that they were now in the cave. They were driving their monster trucks into the strange cave, and they turned on their imaginary monster truck headlights and slowly drove around their new surroundings. At first, they imagined that they saw a huge nest of bats, and as their monster trucks approached, the bats all flew in 1,000 different directions, screeching and yelling as they went. Then they saw some really shiny and cool diamonds, because this was also like a diamond cave, and when they shined their truck headlights on the diamonds, the light reflected all around the cave and looked like some kind of crazy, beautiful disco ball, with white specks of light illuminating every inch of the cave. "Oh man," said Froggy, "let's keep pointing our lights at these diamonds, that way we can see a lot better, and then we'll find out what's making that noise for sure." So they parked their monster trucks with the headlights pointing toward the imaginary diamonds, and they continued following the rumbling noise deeper and deeper into the crawlspace cave. Before long, they were what felt like a mile deep into the cave, and the noise had kept getting louder and louder. And finally, as they thought they couldn't possibly travel any farther, they saw what looked like a strange shadow right in front of them. And as they peered closer at the shadowy figure, they saw that this was the source of the rumbling noise. "This is it, guys. This is what we've been looking for," Froggy told his friends. And they took one step closer toward the shadow, and then, all of a sudden, something snapped them out of their imagination. "Hey, guys, I didn't expect to see you boys down here." It was Daddy the Gator. He was the shadow, and he was the one making the rumbling noise, except it wasn't anything that mysterious after all. He was just holding his drill, and he was fixing a loose board in the crawlspace of the house. "Oh man, you scared us, Dad," Froggy said. We drove our monster trucks all the way in this strange cave, and we saw stalactites and stalagmites, and we saw diamonds, and we saw a bunch of bats, and we were doing it all so we could figure out what that noise was, but it was just your drill the whole time." "Monster trucks, you say?" said Daddy the Gator. "Well, that sounds pretty exciting. You know what? I'm all done here with this drill. Any chance I can come play monster trucks with you guys?" So they all left the strange cave, the crawl space, and they went to play monster trucks on the cool wraparound couch together.